Hello and good morning. Welcome to my channel, Emma Jane's Garden. Today I'm going to show you how I make my market bouquets. So these are my hand-tied bouquets. These are simply for selling excess flowers to farm shops. So how I do these is completely different to how I do my hand ties. I will do a hand tie video as well at some point, but I thought I'd show you how I do them, and then I'll show you how I wrap my market bouquets as well, because I wrap them completely differently to the way I wrap my my hand ties. All done with the same amount of care. You know, flowers have to be at tip-top condition. All the lower stems are stripped. Also making sure that when you wrap them they look beautiful, because when you pick up a market bouquet you still want it to look beautiful. The only difference is when you get it home you're going to put it in a vase and you might have to arrange it yourself, whereas with a hand tie all you've got to do is unwrap it and put it straight into your vase. You don't need to do anything else. That's the two major differences. Obviously for me a market bouquet is quicker to make. I've still had to grow all the flowers so they've still been 6 months in the making, but there isn't quite so much intricacy, I can't say that word, into getting it looking beautiful. So I've got a beautiful bucket here of flowers. This is my bucket, as you can see. I've got some beautiful Shasta Daisies. I've got some, hello, I've got some snapdragons. What else have I got in here? I've got some sweet peas. I've got the last of ranunculus. I've got some cornflowers, and I've also got some pods from the Nigella. I think they look lovely, and any that I'm going to dry any that are left over. I've got the start of my ammi, so I've got the very beginning of the ammi, and then I've got some mint, and I've got some raspberry leaves to use as filler. So that's a beautiful bucket, as it is, to be fair. I'd be happy getting that bucket. I've also got a few here, which I've got some ranunculus, but they've gone over a bit. Some alliums and some sweet williams, and I'm trying out the bronze fennel, but for me it just keeps going floppy, so I'm not happy to sell it in a bouquet at the moment. I'm not really sure about the conditioning on that. For some reason I can't seem to get the conditioning right, so for the minute I'm just going to not put it in. Okay, so we're going to start with, if I can get them out. So we've got some Shasta Daisies. So what I do with these is I make sure that everything's stripped. Now when I pick, because obviously these are my own flowers, so when I'm picking them in the evenings I always pick the night before so that they can sit in the shed here and condition overnight. I always strip them at the plot, so most of these won't need much stripping, so they've just got a few bits left. I've got a bucket, actually I've got a box today, to put my strippings in, and what I do is I use my strippings for my compost, so nothing goes to waste. Everything goes onto the compost and is used back to feed the flowers next year. So I'm trying to do everything as eco-friendly as possible. I'm trying to make my own compost this year because I bought in so much compost this year. It costs a fortune, it costs so much money to get in the compost, and so if I can make as much as possible myself, obviously that'll bring the cost down. I've got chickens here, which you may have seen on some of the other videos, and they are brilliant, but their manure does take 6 months to a year before it's ready to go on the flowers. So what I've done is I've stripped the stems off that one, so I'm going to have a bunch of them. So what we're doing is we're bunching for market bouquets, so rather than arranging we're bunching, but obviously they still need to look beautiful, because no one's going to buy them if they don't look beautiful in the shop. So then what should we go for? Should we have some cornflowers? Maybe I should bring the bucket up. So we've got cornflowers, who always like to get themselves completely tangled up. So again, we'll just strip the lower stems of these. Now I use these little snips for when I'm doing anything. They're little tiny handheld ones. Always make sure they're clean. I do give these a good scrub every day, every time I do this, to make sure they're clean. So if you're you want to keep the stems, you don't want any bacteria going into any of the stems, basically. And again, just strip in the lower leaves. Cornflowers are notoriously difficult. And I've got some mint, stick that one in. And I've got my lovely snapdragons. I'll stick those in and I'll get them a bit higher. See? So they're just pulling it together. And the trouble is, the part of me that loves to do bouquets and actual floristry is coming out now, and now I want to make it into a hand tie. But these are purely market bouquets and they're designed for that. Right, I'm going to put a beautiful piece of larkspur in here. So I'm looking at it like this at the moment. I'm going to bring my bucket up, I think, because I keep bending down. Right, some more of the cornflowers. So my market bouquets, I sell mainly to my local farm shop. So they have them there and they get sold from there. I don't sell them really personally from my website. This is more for the farm shop. There we go. Putting them in. And at this time of year, the cornflowers are looking amazing down on the plot anyway. And I've got some lovely, I've got purple ones, I've got pink ones, white ones, this beautiful white one, and then the blue. So my blue have just started to go over, and I'm getting these multicoloured ones at the moment. But that's good because that's the seasonality of having British flowers. So there we go. Put some more of these snaps in. So as you can see, I'm looking at it from this angle. So market bouquet, I'll do a face to a market bouquet because it will be wrapped with paper up behind, so it's going to be looking like this. I do like to fill them. Oh, a tangle of Nigella. I'll have another one of those while we're there. Okay, so there we go. So that's looking lovely now. I'm just going to put a couple more bits in just to fill it out a bit. I'm going to put in one of these raspberry leaves. I really love the raspberry leaves. I'm just going to take that lower one off. So I'd never thought of using these before. I've got loads of raspberries down on my plot, and I'm forever pulling them out. And now I wished I hadn't because they look lovely. They just give something to the arrangement. So there we go. Right. Obviously, as I was saying before, we just need to make sure it's got, on these ones I always give it a face. So this is going to be the front here. So I'm going to bring that in here. A few more of these Nigella Pods. I do love the Nigella Pods. I think they're so pretty. And I love the little spikiness of them. So I'm going to bring that to the front. Get a few of those maybe. I do like to get tangled though, which is a bit annoying. There, so I just think it there. And I always find that these like to bend over when you start arranging them, but once you put them back in water, they're okay. Just gonna slot him in there, like that. And that one, put that one at the back as a nice tall one. So that's going to go at the back like this. So he's nice and tall. And I think I need something here. You see? I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at. There we go. And so that's one done. Actually going to change my mind and put in a couple of these ranunculus actually right here. I think I'll just give it a bit of a pop. I do love the ranunculus, but it is really, we're right to the end now of these. No, I don't think it needs that one. That's that done. And then I just use a bit of twine, and I'll wrap in exactly the same way I would a hand tie. So I bring the cord down, and I use my thumb like this, and I slot it in between my thumb, and I let it hang like this, and then I grip it with my thumb, and then I wrap fairly tight, and then I put that on the table and just tie in a double knot like this. And then I'm just going to snip the ends of that off. Which that didn't like that. There we go. So that's that one done. And now we're going to go and wrap it. I forgot to mention, you need to cut the ends. So what we're going to do is, some of these are a little bit shorter than the others, so we are going to just grip them, and then I'm going to use these ones, and I will just cut at an angle. So I'll cut the whole lot at an angle like this, and that way, oh, he didn't want to cut, did he? That way it's like this, so they're all at an angle then, and then they'll just splay out. Right, so that one's ready to wrap.